I'm just sitting here thinking about how serving the Lord is like a crack fiend trying to get off crack. It's not always like that, but I was just thinking about like the struggles that we go through sometimes. Um, like let's say if you struggle with fornication and the Lord has been speaking to you, telling you, let it go. And that first time after you know, because when you're living in fornication, you kind of have a routine. It's usually on the weekend, whatever. I guess when you're feeling hot and bothered, I don't know. It's that one person you could call and do the thing. But imagine the first time. Well, we've all been through it. The first time we have to actually fight something, like truly fight it in the spirit or in the natural. So somebody, let's say they've been committing, fornication. And that very first time that they like, you know what, nope, I want to serve the Lord. You know what, nope, I'm not about to go fornicate. I'm not about to do nothing. It's the weekend. This is the time where I'm tempted the most. And, when you go out, to the club or whatever, that it's a strong possibility that you're probably going to fornicate. So that first time that you decide, no, I'm not going to the club, I'm going to stay home, you kind of feel like a crack fiend, getting away from crack, because you kind of like going through all the same things they go through, except you're not well, in a way you are addicted, but you letting the Lord break that chain. So what I mean is, like, instead of fornicating, you would sit home. I mean, instead of being tempted to go to the club and then later fornicate because you already know your habit, you would stay home. And even though you at home, that don't mean you not thinking about it. You probably the whole time trying to fight the thought, trying to cast them down, trying to do all you know to do so that you don't go and sin against God. And you going to kind of feel like a crack fiend at first. I mean, you're really going to feel like you're addicted to some drug and Christ is your methadone, or I forgot what they call it. It's like what they give you to kind of like take you away from the drug so eventually you can live without the drug. But Christ is so much better than methadone or whatever it's called, because when you're a drug addict and whatever drug they give you to bring you away from that drug, you become addicted to that new drug. But Christ is better because it's kind of like that, because Christ gets you away from that old lifestyle and he makes you addicted, for lack of a better term, to him, to Christ. So that first time where you like, okay, I'm not gonna go to the club, I'm not gonna fornicate, you gonna be at home like you addicted, like, cause it's a fight, it's a war, and you not gonna let the enemy win in your life. You want to do what God called you to do, so you rather go through those shakes and quakes and stuff like that than sin against God. That is so beautiful. And that should never stop. That's what you experience as a new believer. And some of us still fall, but just always just continue to get yourself back up again. I was about to say get your butt back up again. Um, and press on toward the mark of the high calling. Go, if you gotta fight, if you gotta shiver, if you having night sweats because you so badly your flesh just want to go sin or want to drink or want to smoke. If you at home and you doing them shakes and you pouring sweat because you cannot stop, your flesh really wants to do it, but you have made a decision to follow the Lord. Just rejoice after you finish with your shaking and quivering. Be praying while you shaking and quivering, trying to fight that flesh, because at the end of the day, once you fight that flesh, you're going to come out stronger. You're going to come out closer to the Lord. You're going to come out with more zeal for the Lord. You're going to come out with more faith. You're going to just come out stronger after you done fought that little battle. Even some people, it might seem a little battle. But it is hard to fight something that your flesh really won't, especially like with an old mindset. Like, say you find some people find the Lord and they start being broke because they can't do their same old slick stuff. So instead of doing their slick stuff, they really want to do something slick. They really want to go out there and rob or steal or cheat or strip or whatever, but they really trying to fight it and really trying to trust the Lord. So instead of going out and being tempted to do that ugly thing, go home, get in that prayer closet and fight that desire with the Lord, with prayer, because it's going to be a fight. You're going to be in that closet feeling like um you are being what's it called when they don't give you nothing, when you fight a cold turkey. It's gonna feel like you fighting a cold turkey, but you not fighting a cold turkey because you fighting with the Lord and the strength that he gives. So as you begin to fight those little battles, or well, what seems like a little battle, as you begin to fight that and fight those temptations, you're gonna get stronger, and eventually that stuff gonna be like water off a duck's back. It's not gonna affect you. I'm not saying you're not gonna have the flesh telling you to do it, or Satan telling you to do it. But you're growing a resistance to Satan and his words and his stuff. Because eventually you start to know the voice of the Lord, and another voice you will not follow. Then you start to read your word, so you knowing like whatever contrary to this is the devil. And so I ain't about to listen to the devil. Then you start learning like discerning spirit. Like, is this the spirit of God or is this my flesh? Then you start to learn the difference between your flesh and the spirit of God. And that's when you are really headed toward, victory in Christ. But yeah, I just wanted to, because fighting the flesh is like a drug addiction. Fighting what Satan wants you to do, which is what you would normally do, and choosing to do what the Lord is calling you to do is a fight. It's like a drug addiction. Like, I'm so serious. To fight fornication when all you know is fornication, it's a drug addiction. So to stop yourself, to call out to God, to cry out to God for the strength to not go rob nobody, that is a big thing. You are crying out to the Lord saying, Lord, I'm not about to rob this person. I do not want to rob this person. I need the money, Lord. I want to trust you. So I'm not about to even leave this house right now. I'm about to go in this closet and I'm about to pray to you, cry to you, shake, probably hit some, some pillows. Because I do not want to sin against you, Lord. I do not want to sin against you, Lord. I do not want to go and do something contrary to your word. So it's a beautiful fight. It's hard in the beginning and sometimes throughout your life, but it's a beautiful fight because what you're fighting for is worth fighting for. You're fighting to have a relationship with God. You're fighting for your soul to receive life later. You're fighting for the hope that's in Christ. You're fighting for a new life. You're just fighting for good instead of for your old evil selfish way. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. It's like a drug addiction. It is. So it's gonna feel like a drug addiction. It's not easy to fight your flesh but remember, the reward is greater than your suffering right now. The reward is greater than anything you can suffer through. So y'all have a good day.